Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Ox, here. On the show this evening is AK and Southside. How we doing, AK?
Good evening, Oxford. Good evening, Southside, the techie team, and everybody that's listening.
Evening, big man.
Hi, good evening, mate. Good to be on with AK tonight, and I'll give a shout out to all the troops on YouTube that listen in faithfully every night. Say hello to them, everybody else on Facebook and Twitter. Aye. Hello.
Aye. Right, okay. I said quite a bit last night. Well, how are you, AK?
I've been better. Watching the Ryder Cup today, but still wicking the wins for last night, obviously.
Aye, good sport, the Ryder Cup. How's Southside?
Kept the curtain shut as always, mate. No bother looking outside or going anywhere. Aye.
Tomorrow night. You'll be all shook up tomorrow night, eh?
Aye, certainly. As long as it's no jailhouse rock.
Will they play in the ghetto?
Certainly in the ghetto.
They get their blue suede shoes on.
Right, okay. Who wants to go first? Will we toss the coin?
Aye, AK can go first.
All right, AK, on you go, mate.
Oh, Christ. Terrible.
Right, thanks
Right,
a lot,
on you
mate.
go, Southside.
Well said.
Report courtesy should definitely say you need to do a lot better. Aye, one of the games.
I'll give a bit of structure then. Right, I'll give a bit of structure. No fair. Just to have it based on pure emotion, right? We'll start with the team selection. Southside.
I did say he might play Mikey Moore, but I thought if he dropped him, it would have been Ant-Man that came in, and he never started him, and Moore started, and obviously Chimity came in, which I wasn't too bothered about. We need to get to see him playing. So, apart from that, the midfield is what we thought it would be. I think people had spoke about it during the week. I think AK maybe would say to start Rothwell, but the three that played in the defence was what we all imagined it would be. So the only real surprise was two surprises was possibly for people Mikey Moore started and Chimity came in and started. But apart from that, I thought heading down to the game box, the selection was all right.
I
would have changed Ant-Man for Moore if he was playing Chimity, right? I would have done that, but looking at that, I thought, right, okay, that's what it is, isn't it?
Aye, I get that, mate, but I've got to be honest. I'm not having a go at the young boy Moore because he's just not ready. And the fact that we're playing him, I don't think we're doing him any favours. On the way he's playing the Snooven again, the B team, if it was such a thing. And he's meant to be come up with this reputation, mate. And it's just not happening for him. He doesn't look ready, and that's me being polite. If I'm honest, he looks like a boy playing man's football. It's simple as that. AK?
I can't disagree with you, pal. The only thing I can think, he must have it in his contract that if he's fit and available to play, then he must start. What kind of club agrees to something like that when you're just bringing a boy? I know him.
Yeah,
of course.
I've told you before, keep away from that social media. Right.
No, but
if you're going to commit with speculation, back it up with facts or opinion. Don't come up with BS.
Don't you start with right.
You're getting it. One thing wrong, you're getting it. Yeah,
it's the only logical thing.
For all these Kellys. Right,
it's the only logical explanation I can give. He doesn't deserve to have a start in the team. We've spoke about that. You've got young Curtis here. You know, he's been benched because of him. You've got Ant-Man's been benched because of him. So we're trying to make logic out of his decisions. I would have put in Rothwell, as I said to you the other night, for the reason that Diamondi, the discipline in him, or the indiscipline, might cost us, and that proved to be. And I couldn't believe that Chermiti started in front of a guy who's just scored his first goal for Rangers and says that's the first of many. So his reward was, right, well, you're benched. Thanks very much.
We picked up a wee whisper that he might have had a knock. Ski, but I don't know, mate. But listen, I thought Moore was poor, but to be honest, Ascar, Southside, helped me out, mate. Before we go into the rest of the team. I don't see it, mate. I just don't see it.
There is a player in there. There is. You can see there's bits of times on the park. He did show some nice touches and stuff, but nowhere near. Listen, he can hold the ball in. He done a cranking wee side flick in the first half to the left back who bombed on the line. It was brilliant what he done. He brought the boy in and the boy was behind him and he just flicked it to the side and he ran on it. It was a cracking bit of skill. And if you actually go back and watch the game, you will catch it. It was really good. But
I see that. One.
Well, in that tight situation, you've seen what he done. I still think he's got ability and he will show it in time. But last night, we needed him to be on the ball and try and create.
What's Barry Ferguson got for you? What did you say about Barry Ferguson? What does Barry Ferguson give?
He's the Everton heart, desire, attitude, will to win.
No heart, no desire, no will to win. He's a coward.
I'm just wondering who gave him the black eye. There was a 38,000 crowd that any single one of them could.
I'm no one. If you're going to speculate, I reckon it was Lyle Cameron.
Aye, oh well. He must have a springboard to get up and get him there. It's a belter.
I think must have got it in the last game. So, the team selection. Chermiti was a surprise. I thought he started the game all right. But I rumble him up, trying to get involved. But you don't get any service Southside. It doesn't matter how good a player you are or what you are, you're not going to score any goals, are you?
No, that's the one thing that for the wide positions, and when we went up the park to a point that we didn't deliver a decent ball into the box for any of our strikers. We came for a set piece when we had the header for Suter, but the big man worked. He worked hard in times. I mean, he won the ball a couple of times and managed to. I think he can hold the ball up. It looks like he was comfortable holding the ball up, but we never created for him at all. And I mean, no chances in the first half for him. He tried to go on the end of the Suter header when the boy cleared it off the line, just before the line. But apart from that, no, and that's the thing about the strikers. We might criticise them. We know as we can say about them when we're talking about them as well. Maybe worked hard. He managed to lay the ball off and we played it up to him, but they're not getting a chance to put the ball in the net. So that's the problem.
Okay, so we've got concerns between the threes about the team selection. Would that be fair, AK?
Aye, definitely. The way we're set up. Mm-hmm.
So we're saying that the manager, it's been during these 14 games in tenure, maybe even the 2 friendlies as well, we'll get concerns with these team selection from start to finish so far. Right, okay.
Well, used to have listen, that was probably about the strongest team we would have picked. The back 4 in the midfield. You're saying you wouldn't have played Asgard then, but you're going to say it in hindsight now after last night, aren't you?
No.
So the midfield that we picked, we all agreed on then?
Aye, but you're...
Right. So the only two surprises, the only surprise really was Mikey Moore kept his place in the team.
And nothing to justify being in the team Southside. Nothing.
Aye, no, he done is he had a partner on an assist the week before, but even in the end, he held the ball better the week before. He wasn't giving it away as much as what he had, but he never really showed anything. I get it. I was surprised that he started. I thought Ant-Man would have come in. As for Chermiti starting, I don't have a problem with that, because at some point he has to go in the park and get game time. You need to try and see what he's all about. They obviously know Purdy and Thelwell when they brought him to the club what he's probably going to bring, but we need to see him on the park. And when you're not really creating any chances from him, he's got to just do all the work himself and run about and try to shut down and show for the ball, but maybe not get it. Then we need to make sure that when the strikers are on the park, that they're getting service, and that's at the moment there's been a lack of service to our strikers.
Aye, I get that, mate. I get that. And by the way, I'm not blaming just Moore for the performances. I don't think we've been fair to the boy neither, if I'm honest, AK. He's just turned 18, you know, and I don't think we've been fair on him.
No, well, unless you've been in their shoes, you don't know how the boy's feeling. As I say, you're walking into a kind of troublesome environment there with the atmosphere. It's just not a nice place to be playing your football at Ibrox now, with the expectant crowd and things. So he's not going to flourish in there, and obviously the team's struggling for confidence. He's maybe, think he's getting pinpointed a wee bit. He's battling for a place in the team, but he says himself, I mean, there's obviously loads of self-confidence for the boy, and he says, I'm going to be one of the best players in the world. Well, you need to prove it. And at this moment in time, he's no. So I think always would have had Ant-Man or Curtis or that in front of him, definitely.
Well, nothing wrong with having a bit of confidence, but only time will tell. Wish them well, but I just don't see it at the moment. So, when we started the game, okay, it wasn't a classic match by any manner of means. We had opportunities before the sending off south side. There was decisions, the penalty call. I think you're getting that 8 out of 10. I really do.
There's not much here. A nudge in it, to be honest. If the ball goes in the net and we score, then would the ref have chalked it off? He didn't give the penalty, but I think if the ball had been in the net, it might have been a different scenario. They might have, if Farah had said maybe it was a push, then they've given it because they're not giving the penalty because they're saying there's a nudge, but come on, there wasn't much in that at all, was there really? Which was disappointing. I thought the ref was a bit erratic at times during the game. Shooter was unlucky. It was a great clearance for the defender. I really thought when he did it was going in, to be honest. And that might have settled us down. And Moore was unlucky, having a shot, I think, for about the edge of the 18-yard box in the first half. He put it over the bar, but they were about the only real two chances that
was another one. Moore took it, mate, put it past the post. He's got to leave it for Raskin. Moore's coming back away. I don't know if you noticed that. You might have, AK. I don't know if you've seen it, mate. Raskin's coming on it, and Moore's coming back away. It's all right if he scores, but Raskin's coming for the better angle for me.
Aye, cleaner shot to go. I mean, it was a fair effort, but you should be screaming at it to leave him, man, if he's in a better position to have the full goal to have a name up. But going back to the penalty instant, no mind when Raskin, the slight push on Joe Hart for the SEMA goal in the Scottish Cup final reminded me of that. He barely touched the boy. It looks as if the boy lost the ball in the air, and Tavernier's header's goal bound. So for me, that should be a penalty in the letter of the law.
I'm saying you get it 8 out of 10, mate, in modern football. In modern football, you get that penalty 8 out of 10. Just the way I see it. Right, so, but after that particular moment, when we could have been one up a couple of times, obviously they had a chance that, watching it Southside, nobody sit. The way we get narrow out of possession, mate, with the fullbacks, and we just keep the wings away to give teams opportunity to put the ball in the box, mate. This is one of the complaints I've got about the managers, because I don't think he's good at team selection. I don't think he's good at tactics. I don't see what team fit. It doesn't look as if he's good at motivation. I just don't know. By the way, he's got some up here for a guy his age. I'll give him that, yeah. But I just don't get it, mate. I really don't. I'm struggling with it.
Aye, well, we're playing this high line and we're playing the system we play, and teams obviously know we do leave space at times in behind. A couple of times our fullbacks weren't a crossing time either. Like when he went wide right in the first half, the fullback wasn't getting tight to him. He was more tucked in for a bit. I don't know if he was meant to be tucked in or whether he just wasn't wide enough when the boys he's just going out wide towards the wing and he's not watching them, or he's just got to, or maybe he's instructed to stay in. I don't know. But Tav done the same. I noticed that in the first half. Tav done the same. They stuck a guy right out in the touchline. But then, if you looked in the first half, Tav was playing wide right. He was playing every time when we had the ball at the back. Tav was on the right touchline, more or less a halfway line. And he played high and wide in the first half. So I don't know if that also helped the fact that they could get in behind us because he was playing so high and wide. Listen, we gave up a couple of chances in the first half in Butland, I think. Butland had about 3 or 4 good saves. But aye, we seem to be giving up chances, and it seems to be the same thing that happens to us all the time. Ball in between the defence, low, and then behind our defence.
Here you go, mate. Here's one for you. I know AK likes the old stats in that, yeah? Last 4 European games. This is shots against us, yeah? Right. The last 4 European games, shots against us, 87. 87 shots against us. Just think, you're always going to lose goals eventually when you're losing that amount of shots, AK. The last 4 European games, 87 shots against us. The tactics are clueless. We've got poor defenders. We're no set up right in midfield. It's a bomb scare. And this isn't going to end well, and it's got to end quick. Yeah, I get your point, AK, about stability of the club, and you want thing, mate. This is a riot, mate. And we're in weeks, mate, we've turned into a laughing stock. In weeks.
I can't defend it, mate. Can't defend the indefensible. I mean, myself, all better Southside, we try to be rational with our opinions. I know supporters, in fact, including the Rain, we didn't want Russell Martin in, but it wasn't our choice to have, and he is in there. So try to get behind him, try to buy into his ideas, try to get behind the recruitment there. It's all about building the team and building the structure within the club, and you need to get all that right to give your manager a chance and come on. Didn't have that support for the club, but manager-wise, no, 100% question marks over his tactics, over his team selection, over his just everything, that the way we're set up, conceding chances, that's abysmal. Oxford really is. The better teams, better quality teams that you play, they're going to be more clinical. In Bruges, he could have walked after Bruges for me. It would have been that soon. So you're right. It's a matter of when, no if. And if we've got any chance of salvaging something out of this season, then it's the sooner the better, because this can't go on. We're not going to get any better, and the support, they're not going to give him that chance because he's not earned it, and it's a horror show. It really is. I mean, when you're looking at crowds attendances for the ticket matches, it's not included in your season tickets. Alva, 33,000 attendance that day. Bruges, your Champions League qualifier, to qualify, to get through to the big one, 43,000, no a full house. Hibs, 35,000. Genk, I believe, was 38,000. I don't even think the Old Firm game was a sellout as well. So there's anger in the crowd, and quite rightly so. But there's also apathy there now, because the atmosphere, McCoy's mentioned it last night in commentary, he couldn't believe that Rangers were at home in a big European night and the crowd were so quiet, because they're not getting entertained, they're not buying into the manager, they're not buying into the players. Is it 14 games, he said, only 4 wins, and he's yet to win 2 games in a row? That's horrendous, mate, for any Rangers manager.
And remember, if we're honest, mate, the 3 wins have came against Pilsner, Panathinaikos. We deserve to win one, we're lucky to win the other. Yeah, we could have been 4 or 5 doing at half time, if we're honest, against Panathinaikos. And then the other 2 wins are against Alloa and Hibs and at Ibrox, mate. It's shocking, mate. And if you throw in the Bruges friendly and the Middlesbrough friendly, the writing is actually on the wall. You know, and I've said this story before. I was based a couple of Southampton season tickets through my job at the start of June, the Bruges game. Speaking to them after that, and they told me by September the Rangers fans will want him out. And I laughed. I said, we need to give him a bit of time and see how it goes. Boy, were they right, Southside.
Well, aye, it's the first time in my lifetime that we've went 5 games in the league campaign, and there's quite a lot of supporters at that point had already lost the plot. Even taking into consideration that we're having to ship players out and bring players in, they all never started, because you can reference the friendlies that you'll reference, but if you look at the team that started that, you look at the team that started the very first European game, look at the team now that started the other night, the team that started against Motherwell's not the team that started, against them or Hibs. So the team was always going to evolve with players, no matter who the manager is. I still believed it would take 3 transfer windows to sort this out. So we done what we could in the summer, and then we'd do something in January, I would think, and then we'd have done the summer again, regardless of who the manager is.
Aye.
I still thought it would take 3 transfer windows to get the squad that the manager would want, have it up and running, and then you're just adding to it and you're getting rid of the people at the club or selling someone in time. And I bet there's certainly ones that we've discussed that are hanging about that definitely shouldn't be there. But unfortunately we couldn't get rid of them. So no matter what, I still think it would take the whole squad at least 3 transfer windows, regardless of who the manager is, to have something up and running, and we could say, aye.
The big question is, the people, or if it's a collective, or the individuals that are scouting the players. Now, I get that for Farewell and that, was there a lot of time in reality, because there was a lot going on in bringing players in, and I understand some of the loans, and maybe you've done that because of the reason, the timing, you can't do everything in one transfer window. I fully understand that. I'll tell you what, that group so far, collectively, mate, I don't know if you could trust them to recruit anything. And that's what we were saying. I think it's you, says AK. Your eyes don't lie.
Yeah, definitely. I think actually McCoy's he turned that expression last night as well. And it's
He
true.
always
It's true.
listens to the show.
He does, aye. An avid listener. Welcome to the show, Super. But it's true, though. It's a true saying, isn't it? I mean, you trust your instinct and you know what you're watching, and what you're watching isn't good enough. I mean, you're like, right, okay, you're trying to buy into what he's trying to do, but you're right away, even in your friendlies and things, and even be watching his previous teams, the previous team supporters, Southampton, Swansea, they were all on Rangers sites going, you don't know what you've let yourself in for here. The guy's he's away with the fairies, and he will not change his system. And they were right, so I think we've been hoodwinked, I really do. But when you look at the credentials of the quality manager who was actually applying for the job, we didn't have a lot of choice here, Ox. I mean, could you imagine Ancelotti Jr. in there now? I think he's getting chased out of his club there in Brazil.
No, I didn't think that was the right idea neither, mate.
No, I know, but where do we go? Because that's 9 managers we've had in the last 10 years, 7
Doesn't
permanent.
matter. That's only history, mate. You can't influence
Aye,
that.
but
You can
Ox,
influence.
what it
You can only
does,
influence the future, mate.
it dilutes the job at Rangers, because a prospective manager will look at that and he'll ask the reasons why the turnover of manager, why the turnover of players, how has this club not been more successful than where it's been the last 10 years, what's the finances coming into the club, where's the apathy, where's the direction, is everybody in unison, and they'll find themselves going, they walk into that now and they're going, geez, no wonder you've been through so many managers. But you need the right credentials and you need the right stature to come in there and lead the team and lead the club and be that figurehead. And he's come in there and he doesn't wear the shirt and tie. I know it's all flimsy and trivial stuff. He doesn't wear the shirt and tie. He's no clean shaven. He's he's no following the kind of culture of the club that we're all used to.
Aye, all these things don't help you if you don't get results, mate. It's things for people to throw up. I'm more interested if he's coaching with a tracksuit on or a shirt or tie on. If you're getting results, I don't think anybody bothers. But however, there's times where you've got to set standards for your club, and you're the head coach, for the want of a better word. They're feeling miserable. The setup of their team all season has been a joke. Defending corner kicks is a joke. Out of possession is a joke. In possession, we're awful. Awful. Everybody knows what we're going to do, playing out for the back, so we're so easy to stop. And we're turning out a broken record because we've had this with maybe with Gio and Philip. We were on a different level for this guy, totally different level. Even Philip, come on, must be sitting there laughing, mate. And as much as I thought the Queen's Park game, that was it for Philip. He's a different level to this guy. He's about 5 levels up for him, maybe more. It's just unbelievable, man. I never seen it coming, Southside, honestly. I thought it might go brilliantly. It might, if we get players in, it could work. But the shambles, mate, the guy's a joke.
AKC didn't change tactics. He certainly changed tactics on the park a few times. And sometimes I thought he's went away for you got to stay with what players you've got. Are we trying to overcomplicate? The only thing that bursts me is I don't know why when it comes to by kicks, Shooter wants to pass the ball. He wants to pass the ball to Shooter, and he passes it back to Butland, who boots it up the park anyway. I mean, yesterday could have went away for his tactics, no problem. He could have easily, because we went down to 10 men, we should just have sat in, and then at some point we could have went 2 up front and we could just have hoofed the ball. We had a guy up there at 6'4", could put Mayoski on and try and get something to come off and work and play tight, but we still want to play out for the back with 10 men. And sometimes the passing was a bit erratic for the players. There was a few times when we had times in possession where we zipped it a bit quicker. We had the free man. You could clearly see it on the park. We got the free man. It's just when we went so far, we never actually created it, and it finished up in the box for a chance for our strikers. And then there's times when it's going to go to him and you're like, just zip the ball now. It was even people in about me saying, how come the players are taking so long to pass the ball? You can clearly see he's there. It eventually goes to him. So the players slowed it down on the park and all last night at times. They weren't moving it as quick as they were at other times. And it was clearly visible. But aye, the tactics haven't been great because you're saying defence-wise, aye, corner kicks and stuff, we're still playing that sort of zonal marking stuff and all at times. But I just think we're not creating as a team. We had to get the right blend in the midfield. I'll ask you something, Ox. If you look at the squad of players we've got, and don't bother changing it and going, well, you could change it but and go 3-5-2 and all that, right? But if you just go and play a 4-3-3 or a 4-1-3-2 or a 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to do, what is your best team then? Because more or less the players that started, goalkeeper out to the midfield, you might tweak one, and up front you might tweak one, but that's about as strong a squad as we've got. Jiga's out the picture. If you want to add them in, fine. But basically this is your strongest squad, no matter what other manager comes in. So is it strong enough?
No, it's not, mate, because there's no creativity in the midfield. We've got a young trialist learning his trade at left back. He shows promise and does some good things, but he shows his inexperience. As I said, I'll give you my opinions on Moore and Asgard. I think the gas man shows glimpses, and if he improves his final ball, and he's unlucky at times with other things as well, he's a sort of bright spark without being outstanding. The centre forwards, we don't know how good they're going to be because we don't make any chances. Diamondi, that summed up Diamondi's season, AK, last night, didn't it? I mean, he's had one good game and I think one assist in Pilsner, I think, when he put it back for Liam Cameron. That'd be right. I've not checked it out. Put it back for Liam Cameron and somebody shot and it came to Lyle and he put it in the goal. He's been enormous, and he could have got sent off on Saturday for stupidity. And that was a crazy, crazy decision last night. That time and again, that area of the pitch, what was happening? Nothing. Today, that was just mental.
It's silly individual choices. Very, very rash. I thought it was a straight red. I heard Bob Gerrard last night saying it wasn't. But he did play the ball, but when you see it back, he caught the guy halfway up his legs, so that's a straight red. And obviously, all the tactics and that goes out the window. You give your opponent the advantage you have in the second man, and by that, the extra man. But by that point, they're already probing at the goal. They've had good opportunities with O. He missed numerous chances to go ahead. It was just a couple of individual kind of chances, and that's not good enough for Ibrox. We under Gerrard, under Gio, even under Clement, see the first 10, 15 minutes at Ibrox, everybody was up for it, everybody was singing, the opponents were getting spooked, no matter the level of opponent we were playing, that Ibrox, was a massive factor. I'm getting told last night, as soon as the final, the start of the whistle goes, falls silent. Once the music comes out the tannoy system, silent, apart from the UB. That's no Ibrox. That's just apathy then coming for the crowd towards the players, towards the manager, and it's just no a good ingredient to go forward with. Something needs to change, and the sooner the better, Ox.
All right, we better get the phone lines open, chaps.
Aye. Let's go on. Let's hear people's opinions.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
It'd be interesting if your Jim phones in. They were saying they'll go to game time. He's feeling.
Well, sorry, I get sidetracked slightly. Right, but as I was trying to say, in your lifetime, Oxen, all right, after 5 league games, I've never seen the clamour that I'm witnessing now to get rid of the manager. After 5 league games, for the support.
The start of the season's changed, Southside, because obviously when you go back and maybe the League Cup, maybe the odd European tie, we've played a lot of European football already. We played that was my 7th tie. 7th tie, yeah.
Aye.
Aye. The 3 qualifiers, yeah. And then that one, so you played 7 European games. So domestically, I think it's my worst start since John Gregg took you, 78, 79, yeah.
Aye, will be, aye.
Aye. So that one went well when we came back and we ended up blowing the league at the end that season. Can't see that happening. 3 points for a win has changed a lot as well, Southside, because you end up away, throw in the hammering against Club Brugge was just. We were lucky.
Only time will tell if they were.
They're a decent side.
They're a decent side. They were a decent side. I think. I think that's the way he wanted us to sort of play, the way they knocked the ball about and passed, and they all knew where each other was, and they linked up to play well. But it happens. I mean, the away game shocked me. You're standing there watching that happen.
It wasn't the fact that we get beat 6-0. That can happen. You have a bad day. It's happened before. And thinking, if we're honest, AK, we were lucky it wasn't double that. That's the trouble. Then at that particular time, he kept playing the Boyarins. You've had the Raskin situation. If Raskin should have left the clubhouse, he know when. If that's the case, there's somebody else who's David recruitment got that wrong. Because ultimately, I'm a great believer if somebody doesn't want to be there, you're better off without them. And even though I thought Raskin was outstanding last weekend, I'll judge him up to the centre half last night, and I think he was great. But there's so much wrong. And but he was behind the 8 ball, Russell Martin. Behind the 8 ball because people didn't want him. and it's just growing arms and legs. He's no helped himself, mate. He's getting that much rank, complimented with the recruitment and the players maybe letting them do it also. He's not a bit of luck, mate. Also, he came. Goals chopped half, bad decisions. You know, you can throw all that in the mix, but it's just a recipe for disaster. And everybody's lost confidence in him. And this is only going to end up one way. So let's put everybody out in their misery and move on.
Including us, as you said last night. You're right, mate. You're right. It's no just Russell Martin. We've said it before. It's Kevin Thelwell's in the firing line with the recruitment. Has it been good business? Because we've sold a lot of players there for decent money, around about 23 million. They say they've had a 20 million net. So you're talking about £40 million. The best part of that they've spent on recruitment. Have they made our team better, our squad better? And you're basically saying no. So that's where he comes in the spotlight. Obviously, the individual one that is the Chermiti deal. What does he want to put that outlay out in a boy that is yet to be proven in the game? He might turn out to be this brilliant striker, but we could have got Big Seema, we could have had Journey, we could have, somebody else that's established. But I think Miovski will be good, but he needs service. But what I was going to say, and we spoke about it before, I think they've massively underestimated what the job entails as being Rangers, in charge of Rangers. But when you've got a defence here, a Tavernier, where his contract's due at the end of the season, big shooters in the same boat, Cornelius, loan, Magoma, loan, Giga, loans, Aarons, loans, and Fernandez, £3.5 million outlet, he doesn't get a game. How are you meant to build a team, a successful team, when you've got that sort of defence there that doesn't give you the foundation to go ahead because we're losing stupid goals, we're red cards because we're too high a line, a ball down the channel, a ball over the top, and all of a sudden it's a foot race. Lose stupid goals against Bruges, against Mirren.
What was Suter doing last night with that goal? Where was his concentration? Where was his defensive ethic? What was he thinking? What was he thinking? Yeah,
It's crazy, mate. It's crazy.
The guy made a good pass for the guy running through. Get that? But Suter, what was he? He was a bit out of position, mate. A bit of position, and also, by the way, I know I mentioned it last night. What was Ant-Man then? He had the guy pegged in. Just run about like a wee boy. There's no desire, anything. Like, it's professional football. And the jury's out with him now and all, mate. He started always. We went, well, he's got a bit of pace about him. Get the ball in the box, good crosser. He's had moments. I mean, he knows scored a wonder goal at the weekend. But the jury's out with him as well. I don't know. So said, help me out.
I was disappointed with Ant-Man when sort of what he contributed when he came on, because I wanted to see him start. And listen, he's got a good assist rate for where he was playing before, Go Ahead Eagles or something. And he scored a few goals, and he has got. You've seen me flash last week that he can take men on. It's probably just a confidence thing, throughout the team and the players. They're just no firing, some of them. Maybe they're trying too hard. I mean, Gasman started well, and then sort of Higme done similar. He came inside, he was unlucky with his shot. But apart from that, he flattered to deceive a bit, and he didn't chase back at times, because I watched him and his work rate. Players were just sort of running off him, and he sort of let them go when he could have chased back a bit harder. There's things that obviously you notice and you can see on the park. But at the moment, I still think they'll come good. I think they will be assets to the squad. I think we have improved it, as in probably sellable assets going forward once the new manager comes in, because that's what's going to happen over time. And see if we can get these players that were brought in firing and playing in a system that suits them. So I think going forward, we probably have built the squad up for what we had, because I think going forward they'll be worth money. And I think also fact that the only one that will not be worth money is probably we brought in will be Rothwell. See the thing you're talking about the fact we've got all loan players at the back, right? I get that, but that doesn't mean to say you can't go and be successful just because they're there on loan. No, that some of them have hit the ground running. Jigger's lost his place in the team. So, and Aaron's will come back and will play. Tav isn't going to play every single week. We're going in a run of games where they'll have to spell players. Suter will be the same. If he plays the next 3 games in a bounce, then he goes away and plays 2 for Scotland, because that's what he'll do as well. Then we're coming back into another heavy programme. So, and this happened before when he kicked the ball and done a groin injury. So there will be spells. Some of these players will have to be rested. It'll just be a matter of when. And at the moment, well, Russell Martin's still in the job, and he can't get us to couldn't get a positive result last night, and the performance was poor. Then it's just giving the players less confidence, and as long as he keeps in the job now, then he's the guy that's going to pick the team. But if he's relying on these players, then when a new manager comes in, some of them might need spelled out. We have to change the team at some point. We can't keep going with the same 11.
Oh, I know, mate, I know. Then you'll get injuries and suspensions and all that other stuff. Anyway, we've been joined by Jim. Evening, Jim. How are we doing?
Evening, lads. Welcome.
How are we doing? What's on your mind, mate?
Aye, well, I like listening to Southside. They're saying, I know it, but no, I'm still by him. I don't care what anybody says. See, when I'm more than half a century a Rangers supporter, right? So my father said to me growing up, and my brothers, I was born a Rangers supporter. Now, my father said to me when I was a kid growing up, never run Rangers down. Doesn't matter who you don't like, if they've had a bad game or what they've done, never run them down. Right? Because what happens is you're just getting other people to laugh at us and laugh at the club. Right? So I'll never run them down. One thing I was going to say about last night, Southside says I'll go to give him. I want to give the guy 3 transfer windows to try and make a team. Raskin last night was a man short. Now, as his father said to him, don't you be trying against this Belgian team again? Absolute hopeless. Never made a challenge. Never got the ball ran forward. He was a man short. And it should have been a penalty.
I thought you were going to start singing there twice. You said my father said to me.
Well, he did that. That was probably my first words when I was away. That's what we want, lads. Hey, it'll turn, get some laughing and smiling and telling jokes and that. We need to be up, stay positive. All this doom and gloom. You know, by the way, I listened to last night after the game, how he showed for 15 minutes and all that. I was going to turn it off. It's depressing me. And I was saying, come on.
Jim, you ought to try doing it after watching the games, mate.
No, I
it's
know
very
that.
Difficult.
I know. Everybody's hurting.
It's very difficult.
I know that.
Aye. Carry on.
The Raskin fella done absolutely nothing. I thought Diamante was unlucky. I thought he was unlucky because he did catch the ball.
In modern football, it's a red card, mate.
Aye, but he hit the ball first and his foot went up over the ball.
Doesn't mean it's not a red card, mate. He caught him just below the knee.
No, but there wasn't a matter of guys like Ren, so there no force in it.
Never said there was, mate. I said in modern football, it's a red card.
Oh no, I agree with you. Some people will give the red, which he did last night. And our penalties are stone water. There's the guy trips his cell up. Tom puts his horn on his arm and he trips his cell up, the guy. Although Butland is a good save and that, and he get cleared. So, to me, out of all the ones that was there last year, Butland's, he's trying 200%.
Do you know why, Jim?
I mean?
Do you know why?
Why?
AK, tell him. He's getting that much practice. Have you seen the amount of shots we're letting him? AK?
I was just about to say that there before you came to me. Good evening, Jim. I would say he's been our best performer because he's been the busiest. in the team. That's why Butland's been. If it wasn't for Butland this year, it would have really suffered a couple of humiliations there. Listen, I commend your positivity. I've been trying to do the same, but you're allowed to change your mind, and I just don't see anything to be positive about or get behind. It's just not happening, Jim. I mean, we're second bottom in the league. I know I've said it as well, VAR decisions against Hearts and Kilmarnock against Celtic, we could actually be sitting in third, and I still think we'll get up there, but the team needs to improve. They're just no signs of it. And would you be surprised if we drop points at the weekend to Livingston? No, and that's how bad we've got. I mean, but Jim, that Genk team are fourth bottom in the Genk league, in the Belgian league. Sorry, they're not a good team, and they battered us last night. I know the scoreline was only 1-0. That could have been 4, and they put 5 against Lech Poznan to get there. They're not a good team, but we made them look good because of your setup. It's horrific.
We'll see last season. That Genk team, right? They were top of the league until the split, and that's when Bruges won it.
But they've sold a load of players, mate. Brought in a fortune, moved on, brought players in. A few young boys, brought a 17-year-old Greek boy who's a bit of a star on last night. We've got nothing, Jim. But I really, really admire your attitude, mate. And you're right. But see if we come on here and say, oh, this has gone all right, we'll get our own particular personal views. If we come on here and say, this has gone all right, give them time, people would think we're nuts, mate. And I'm not saying you're nuts because you're entitled to your point of view. And we don't like saying bad things about our club and the support or the atmosphere. But to coin a phrase, your eyes don't lie. We're badly coached, badly motivated, badly set up, don't even look fit, play a brand of football that leaks chances, leaks shots, we don't create anything. There's nothing right, Jim. The guy's clueless. It's not going to end well, so you've got to do it quick, mate, and cut it out and just move on. The big question is who and when, no if and what. Southside.
Jim, listen, it's a hard watch now. You know, everybody's going week in, week out, and I'll always go and hope that Rangers win. You know, you go with that attitude that we need to get the 3 points or whatever game you're playing. I'm not wasting my money and going to Livingston on Sunday to think we're going to get beat. I will go with the attitude that we need to get the 3 points and hopefully we'll beat Livingston regardless whether it's a plastic pitch or no. They are hard games in the past, but I'm still going there thinking that we can beat them. But at the same time, when we're not creating chances, we're like the stupid thing when we take the by kicks. Why would you pass the ball to your centre back if you pass it back to your goalkeeper who then launches it up the park? Why would Butland not just take the by kick? When we're watching nonsense like that, it starts to irritate you. But just no creating, Jim. I was prepared to try and think, right, he needs to get a settled team now. The wind is shut and we've got the squad there. And now we need to kick on and show something. Okay, the left backs played well. Left back and Gassama link up quite well. The two of them have a quite a wee bit of understanding. You're hoping if Asgard's playing in there or Diamondi that he's going to start adding to that. But the now the midfield's not looking right. We're not creating as it shows. We're playing a striker. It doesn't matter who we play, Jim. They're not getting any chances. And that must be down to the manager's tactics. Granted, sometimes the players last night didn't pass the ball quickly to players when they were free. They did at some stages, and you could see we moved the ball a lot quicker. But then we got up so far, and then a couple of times we got down the line, the delivery in didn't beat the first man, and we only had one striker in the box. And we'd no midfielders even running to try and press to get to the edge of the box. So it's a tough watch now, Jim. And at the moment, the support's just had enough. A lot of the support have had enough. I agree. It's no good to try and sack manager all the time, but he's actually sacking himself because he's not getting the results and the team's not looking much better on a weekly basis. and we're not doing anything repetitive that you can say, right, okay, apart from like goals and let teams have shots on us, we're doing that. That's what we're good at. But we're not creating, Jim, and we're not imposing ourselves on teams, and we've not got patterns of play. I just think it's a matter of time. It's just a matter of when, Jim, I think, for me. But then they need to carry the can and get the right person in place, and it might be maybe they're looking around and we just can't get them. So he'll be the manager on Sunday. AK, me and him spoke the other night, and he thought he'd be gone before the end of the week. But he's no, so he'll probably be in the dugout on Sunday, and he'll possibly be in the dugout come Thursday when we play our European game.
No, for me, the midfield that got the last manager's sacked are still there. You know what I mean? Diamande, Raskin, and that they're still in there, and they're not. I mean, Raskin was incredible, and I think his father said to him, "Don't play against these Belgians. Don't you try. Go and watch that. I watched that again the day. I'm saying to myself, what's he doing? He was a traffic warden, but sticking his horns out, pointing. No, standing in the middle of the park most of the time, nobody near him. He's pointing his horns, you go there, you go there. Done nothing. Yeah, against Hibs, he came out, played well, attacking, tackling, won the ball, 1-2s, shooting, header, scored. That's what we wanted. We never got that last night. Nothing near it.
And I'm going to say something, mate. He was the best in the midfield.
Last night?
Aye, that's not a compliment, mate.
No, good. I'll go and watch it again. You know what I mean? And see the boy Asker, he has got some nice stuff. He's just into Scottish football. He's got some skill. I like the gas man. See, in the second half, we created plenty of chances. We're unlucky. See the wee boy shot at their defender. That was nestling in the top corner.
Aye, Barron shot.
I says, oh my God, when are we getting a break of the ball? We're not getting a
deflection. I get the break,
nothing.
No doubt about luck, but AK, if Jim was on the panel and we can send the HR, I think, what do you think?
Jim's a good guy, man. Good guy, but listen, I think Maested would love nothing more for him to turn it round, but I think he's went beyond the point. I think, see, when you see the numbers that I mentioned, Jim, earlier, Jim, about the no-shows at the ticket games with Ala, Bruges, Hibs, Genk, 49,000 empty seats at Ibrox. What's that, Ox? About 30 quid a ticket, say, talking about £1.5 million. That's what the Americans will be alarmed at. And plus all the revenue that comes with that, the commercial stuff and the corporates and the kiosks and all that, the food that's not getting sold. That's when the alarm bells will start ringing with the Americans. They've got no emotional attachment to the club, and that might have been the detriment for the previous regime with Gallagher and Park and all the guys in there, Bennett as well. They all done a great job as far as keeping the club going. Sort of thing. They were desperate to be a success, but they listened to the support maybe too often with getting rid of Gio and getting rid of Clement and stuff, and getting Bale in and getting Barry in. And I don't know where it ends, but I don't think Russell Martin is the guy to take us forward. But as I say, you're pointing fingers at Russell Martin. Thelwell's another one, and Patrick Stewart. The Americans must be like that. Who do we trust here out of these guys to get us going here? Because the alarm bells must be ringing with them, Ox.
Yeah. Either that or there's a strategy that I've missed. I mean, I never thought I was that intelligent till I met all yous, and then I realised I'm off, right? But but I just can't see it. I just can't see the strategy. We debate it a lot. We don't just talk on air. We talk off air, and we've talked a lot about Southside. He likes an identity. He wants a style of play, so you know what you're doing. And I've got a slightly different view. I think you've got to be able to change, and you've got to adapt to who you're playing. And your personnel, you've got to have different shapes and different formations, because I think all successful teams, even Man United and Man City, under the Pep, they tweaked at times and done different things. Outstanding players, different level, I get that, I know that. But I don't see anything in 16, 14 competitive games and 2 friendlies that gives me any positivity. And I'm struggling. Listen, nothing. I know I'm going to see the obvious Southside. Nothing would give me greater pleasure if I'm proved wrong. I just can't see it at the moment. Really, I watched that last night. I'm watching that. I'm saying, right, okay. Even before the sending off, I'm saying we're struggling here. They know their route thought is they know where to put the ball. They know where to put it, and it's just you do the same thing with the same setup all the time. Teams know how to stop you playing, and they know where to put the ball out of possession. Decent teams. They're not a great side, but they're a decent team. South side.
Aye, they were decent. And obviously they created chances against us, and we weren't dominating the play. We weren't running faster or outworking them, as he said that we would be doing. In his team selection, the way the team will play. Midfield didn't do enough last night. Didn't get moving. So at the end of the day, it's only going to come one way, Jim. As much as I would like just the results to turn round and just be positive, I think the players know within themselves that it's a matter of time. So the inevitable's going to come, but while that's going to happen in their minds, they should be going out and making sure that they get a victory for the club and do their best. But it's just frustrating now, Jim. And as much as I'd like to keep no change in managers, I think we have to. And it's down to Kavanagh now to pull the plug, because the longer it goes on, it's frustrating the support. People maybe a week or two ago thought, well, give them a chance now. They're thinking along the same lines, and then we start all thinking the same. The majority of the sport's starting to sway, although I'll no boo them or slaughter them or any player. But at the same time, the man Kavanagh's the guy that's got the decision to make. He's obviously been up here now for the last week. So something might be happening in the background, and we might be actively trying to get a new manager in. But it'll come down to him, and we'll look at Thirlwell, why the plug wasn't pulled sooner. You've got to remember, Thirlwell said just a few weeks ago that he's one of the best coaches he's ever seen working all that. So that'll be interesting to see when we pull the plug on him, because he's certainly going to be questioned. And if Kavanagh thinks he's not doing the job properly, then...
What does that mean? Does that mean you set the mannequins up well, or you've a nice cone design? Because obviously the proof of the pudding, coaching and all that, is what you do for all matches. Training and all that, yeah, it's part of the job, and get people fit, coming up with ideas, tactics, set up and all that. Ultimately, you're judged professionally with what happens in the competitive games. The rest of it doesn't really matter.
No, it shouldn't. But at the end of the day, he's obviously brought up a team that's coaching the players and has methodology. He's obviously putting it out there and telling them, showing them the clips and all that, and they all know his style, so they all know how they want to play. But the players are struggling with it, and it's no positive on the part for us. It's all right probably showing them it and working, like you say, around mannequins and stuff and how it's meant to work, but when you put it into game mode, it's certainly not looking fluent. There's be couple of link-up plays, I think, are there. There was times last night when we did zip the ball a lot quicker. We did have the extra man to give the body in the middle of the park, but we just didn't go in there and create anything for our strikers or have a shot at goal. At one point, Mikey Moore was unlucky because we managed to do it for that angle. When Asgard got on the ball and managed to thread it through, and then it came across to him to have a shot, but because it was zipped a lot quicker. But you still go out there thinking, but when you see the game, how we're playing, but it's just not good enough. There's no zip and there's no passion out there, but looks like for the players in his team, because he sets them out. And it's just a matter of time now. Everybody knows it's a matter of time, and that's what gets frustrating, Jim. There's no change. There's not going to be a he's not going to go on this one and run where he keeps his job.
Well, we can only
Right.
wait and see.
Aye. Listen, just a quick yes or no question before we go to the tune. We'll start with AK. Don't worry, AK, it's not a quiz. You know you'll have a quiz. Listen, does it look to you, and it's your opinion, your eyes, even as bad as it is, does it look as if the players are most confident in the manager also? Or is it just me, AK?
I would say yes. And the telling interview last night was John Suter after the game. I don't know if you caught that at all, but yes.
I would
would be
have
the
listened to it at the moment, mate, but I'll maybe have to take it. You've said that. Southside?
I just think the players know it's coming. But at the end of the day, they've got to be professional and try and make sure that every game that they go in that part, that they try, mate.
My football players get away with murder. Just your opinion on it, Jim. I know you're
It's,
pragmatic.
I don't think he's lost a match. Just my opinion, obviously.
Aye,
I thought when he made the changes and he took the big centre half off and he brought another midfielder on, he went for it. And you know, a lot of managers doing that, making changes. You know, taking defenders off and putting forwards on, trying to get a win when you're getting beat. I don't think he's lost them, lads.
All right, mate. All right. Listen, get yourself on mute. Put your phone on mute if you don't mind, Jim, because we're going to have a tune.
There's a pub in Green Street where all good proddies you will meet. So come down here and together we'll have a jab. A welcome there you will receive, so good that you won't want to leave. A fine wee pub is Saltcoats Mermaid Bar. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. We all support the Queen and Crown. The prices here are the best in town. The bar staff, they are one terrific crew. Everyone laughing, full of cheer. It's one tremendous atmosphere, singing to support the red, white and blue. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. It's nice to come to the Mermaid Bar when Rangers are playing at Tybrook's Park. You'll forget your worries and all your cares, singing songs against the Thames before you watch the Rangers win. For everyone here supports the Teddy Bears. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. If you are up from Belfast town, Tyrone, Fermanagh or County Down, Armagh, Antrim or London, Derry shores, the Mermaid is the place for you, so come and have a drink or two. Next time in Saltcoats you'll want to come back for more. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, right, okay. Enjoyed it? We toe tapper.
Sure was. Sure was. I think that's one of Foxy's favourites, isn't it? Nice wee tune.
Foxy's favourites. That takes me back a wee bit Southside.
Aye, might not be his real favourite. I think he'll have another one. That's one of his ones he likes, so it's no it's not a favourite.
Poor Fox.
Can I ask you something?
Me?
Aye.
Aye, go on, mate.
If I'm looking at it now, I'm looking at the strikers and that. So where does this put Danilo?
Oh, I'll tell you what it does put Danilo, mate. You can't judge anybody at the moment, right? The way the setup is. If with the present regime, you would say he's looking to get out the door, because he's went for first choice at the start of the season to just not getting the stuff. So that's another manager that doesn't fancy him. Look, he's got to see his contract out with us and walk, mate, because he's not getting that money anywhere else or anywhere near it. Unfortunately for him, maybe injuries, he's also going to be a bit older, and that's how I see that panning out. Matondo contract to Dow contract to Danilo contract to, and then walk try and get clubs. So I see him like that, mate. That's how I see it. Is he an intelligent football player? Aye, reasonably. They're judging that position, the goals he scored, and he's not getting a sniff now. And I get in a bad team, so I think that's how it'll pan out. You never know if somebody else comes in right enough. AK, same question, mate.
Aye, well, basically you've summed it up there. I don't think he would do any better, Southside, than what Miovski's doing, or even Chermiti, the performance last night. I don't think even Erling Haaland would do better. A striker needs service, so the fault is obviously the service coming for the wings in the midfield. They're not finding them, and I think that comes down to the structure and the formation of the team. It's no gaining his chances. We should be peppering teams, particularly at Ibrox and particularly in the Scottish League, and we're not, and we're gaining up far too many chances. It's disjointed all over the park, pal. I don't know what you think yourself. But £6 million for Danilo's, that's been another waste of money and a waste of wage. Probably you're upwards of about £10 million for him.
Aye, he ain't going anywhere, you know. I can't see it. I think he'll just sit there. He's meant to be a lovely lad, very intelligent. I think he speaks 7 languages, you know. We struggle with English, you know, but I don't know. How do you think it'll pan out Southside? Do you think I'm right or not?
Well, probably looking at it, he probably knew that Igaman and Dessers was probably going to be gone. So he had to rely on him. He'd done a pre-season, so he had to rely on him. Probably as time went on, well, obviously he had to start games and stuff, and then obviously once they two go out the door and we bring in Chimiti and we bring in Majowski, he goes back to third choice. I think possibly they might have looked to maybe have got him out the door, but I don't see how he can fight his way back into the team now. Especially when we've had Utley on the two of them. Miovski has proven that scoring goals in Scotland if he gains service. So I think they two will always be ahead of him. And I don't see him, and I think it is going to suck money. I don't even think he's going to get many chances of coming on, because I think if one of them's on the bench, one of them will come on before him. Although he might make a bench in Scotland in one of the games, but I still think if we play the one striker and we're bringing one on, it'll not be Danilo. I think he's got nice wee touches and stuff and that, but I just think it's a big outlay, and I think it's going to suck the money out of the club, because I think maybe we might have wanted to get rid of him, but I think we had to rely on him at the start through the European campaign and whatnot.
I just don't know who's going to line up to buy him, mate. You know, his reputation, I mean, obviously he's had two decent bad injuries, you know, but his stock's falling. Somebody might take him if the deal's right, but I just don't see anybody. I don't see there being a clamour to buy him, Jim. Oh, Jim's maybe popped away. AK.
No, you're right. There certainly doesn't. No for that outlay. I think you'll be lucky if you get probably less than half of the transfer fee, and certainly they're not going to match his wages. So that's the problem that we've had for a long time in getting rid of these players. They're far too comfortable being at our place, and it doesn't really bother a lot of them whether they get game time or not. You can accuse them of lacking professionalism, or you can accuse them of saying, well, I'll be happy when I'm at the end of my career. But Matondo's another one, and he's a guy where he should be in the prime of his career. But he's made a fortune, the boy, as is Chermiti, by the way. That's the problem with a lot of these young players. They make a lot of money very quickly instead of having to earn it. So that kind of takes away their motivation to do well in the game. I don't know whether that's a factor, but that's down to the club to do their business properly and to do their due diligence on certain players. And that's where the finger gets pointed back at Kevin Thelwell. No for obviously Danilo. That was Beale that brought him in, but you know where I'm going.
Aye. I just think that's what happened with Danilo. And by the way, they're blaming him. You know, as much as it pains me to say it, if you're getting offered, if you're on Danilo, what do you reckon, 15 upwards south side?
Who's that to?
It was the south side, but you carry on, AK.
Oh, no bother. Aye, well, it's all about numbers. I think we mentioned numbers the other night as well. Again, Cherny and Desser's going out the door this season. 63 goals between them. How do we replace that? We've only scored three the now in the league and struggling to score in Europe.
Everybody has scored 63 goals this season. That's it up.
No, 100%. But maybe the criticism what Clement was getting last year, the team wasn't as bad because we've got worse, and supporters are under the assumption that change are going to get better. Well, we've got worse.
Aye, the squad's weaker, we look weaker, we're not as well coached. You know, there's a different atmosphere around the place. Philip with his style. I mean, Russell Martin and his squad under the same calibre as Philip Clement's team, but unfortunately the Queen's Park debacle was just, that's going to get any Rangers and manager in trouble, and he's had a debacle. It was the Bruges time, mate, because the problem was, it wasn't just it was 9-1 in aggregate, they're on 21, mate. You know, mental, absolutely mental, and Aaron's with that crazy decision, like Diamandi. So there's a couple of incidents where you maybe can't blame the manager for people's rush of body, you know. But
but you could blame the system though. Aaron's for and Giga getting sent off against Dundee as well, you know. So that high line is just kamikaze defending. I don't get it, mate. You really need electric, quick defenders shows you're no going to be in bother, and you also need a goalkeeper that's comfortable distributing the ball at his feet. Man City go out there and buy the best of the best. Liverpool do the same, and other clubs are trying to copy him. It's just it's impossible and impractical to play that same style of football. I believe I've been joined with Smurf there, Ox.
Evening, Smurf. How we doing?
I know bad, Ox. Evening, everybody.
Hello.
I've been driving up the road there, and I'm just listening in, and I couldn't agree more. I don't think I said a while back that, you know, that style of football that Pep played with Barcelona, Pep can't even do that now. I think it's maybe ran its course now, and I don't think the league that we play in, etc., the climate, there's so many variables. I just think it's naive, in the extreme, to think that you're going to come up here and just rip it up with guys that are championship players, and you know, I think it's just a lack of respect actually for the league that he's come into, and for the players that were already there. And ultimately, he's going to die at the altar of his own hubris.
Oh, that's a bias. I'm proud of you, Smurf.
Oh, thanks very much. Nobody's ever said that before. I'm emotional.
Russell Martin would be proud of you.
Well, he would see as you know, my development as a person. You know, that's another thing. See that sort of, and he's, you know, anybody that's Buddhist or whatever, fair play, more power to you. But listen, leave it in the house. Don't bring it into the dressing room. Don't bring it into the club, and certainly don't bring it to the fan. Nobody's interested. Don't care. Fed up with it. Arrogance, you know. Anyway, that's my wee bit of a rant.
It's just
And
not.
it's not a good fit. Great euphemism.
Listen, we're getting the manager a lot of stick, if we're honest, but some of the individual errors and the players, are you completely blaming the system or the responsibility?
So I don't. There's a lot that he's brought in it. It's hard to judge anybody, right? See, if you're being fair, it's hard to judge the players that he's brought in, because if you think back, when I remember I was right at the early days before we'd even played a game, and Tav was interviewed, and he said it was something, I'm paraphrasing, but something like it was, you know, a brand of football that he'd never seen before or come across before. Now that to me was telling. That was, you know.
Oh, he's been right.
He certainly wasn't. He wasn't endorsing it, you know, and so these guys have come in, and you don't know who's identified them, but he's going with these guys, and I look. We've spoke about this time and again. That boy Ascar, he looks in the wrong movie as well, you know, and he's obviously got a great touch, got a beautiful touch, but he dilly-dallies on the ball. If the ball breaks, he's not on his toes, he's always on his heels. He wants a fortnight in possession, you know, he's just in the wrong movie. And I don't know, it's hard to judge the players. It really is. Unless you get somebody who's a pragmatist, who knows what they're doing, who's got experience, and can come into that environment and handle it.
Look, I'm available. If they ask me nicely, mate, I'm available.
Aye, you know, and then you can judge your players. You know, ultimately, We just want somebody that's going to play a system that wins. And it might not always be the same system, but somebody that's taking into effect the opposition, the surfaces we're going to play on, maybe the climatic conditions, injuries, suspensions and all that, all these variables, and put a team out in a system that's going to get the job done. And if it's a 1-0, it's a 1-0. I want a result before I want beautiful football. And if somebody can do that, that's great. And then you'll see what the players are made of. But of course, people, if there's a cynic in me that thinks, if you're a player and you think, oh, I've had enough of this guy, I'm going to do exactly what he tells me because I know it doesn't work. Get him out the door. If you're a guy he doesn't want, you're not going to go anywhere if you want to stay at the club because you know you're going to be there longer than him. Everybody, the only guy that doesn't know this is him.
It's mental, mate. It's mental. AK.
I've said before, it's the phrase now, it's your eyes don't lie, you know what you're watching, you don't like what you're watching, but I question the recruitment. I have done for a good wee while. Do we have enough winners in our team? And when you look at the calibre of the player, the credentials that they brought in, what have they actually won with their club before they came to our club? And when they get to our club, what have they won? We've not got enough for me. And you can also accuse Russell Martin, our manager, of being that. When Clement at least had won league titles with Bruges, you'd experienced European football. I think Bruges beat Real Madrid in a game as well. They kind of things matter. Gio is obviously a brilliant stature as a player in the game. Gerrard was that guy. That's, you need that stature, you need that character, that the team, the players believe in you. They believe what you're trying to do and what they're telling you. But when you cross that white line, you're out on the park, the players can also take responsibility for their own performance as well. See if they see that's gone wrong and we're too open at the back. I heard Craig Moore say on Go Radio the other day, he and the other players run about would take responsibility to say, hey, we're under the cosh here a wee bit, guys. Just, try and sit in a wee bit, make us hard to play through, and, gee up the wings, as you said earlier, Rocks, and just don't give chances away when you go down to 10 men. Walter won a cup with 9 men, so it's players take a lot of responsibility as well, but it always comes back to the manager, Rocks.
Aye, ultimately, that's the mad thing about the industry, but it's true. And I just think for Russell Martin's sake, Smurf's sake, and all of their sakes, make the change. And I think even Jim will feel more positive when it's moved. And the big question is, who's next? That is a big question that people will start asking, and the speculation will grow and grow and grow. And it's no good for Russell Martin and his coaching staff because they're in a no-win situation. The supporter, broken, angry, frustrated. Yeah, and it's no good for our club because ultimately, there's maybe you said 1.5 million. I think you're being conservative, mate. The revenue lost the last few weeks because of Russell Martin. I think you're being conservative, mate. Yeah.
Aye, you're better with figures than me. So you stuck in it at school, and I didn't.
School dinners.
Aye.
I
Same
never
Elena.
really liked him. I've got to be. I'm fritters. Oh no.
Aye, well. Same Elena.
Talking about school dinners, what's happened to Southside?
I don't know. I think he's at a drive-through at McDonald's, now.
Aye,
Anyway.
well, no, it's true what you're saying, AK, that it's difficult with finances and everything to go and buy ready-made winners, because they cost a lot of money, as in 50s and 60s and 70 millions. And it's It's impossible. But you can get a level of player, you know, in different markets that have had success, and I think it doesn't just apply to the players. I think maybe a few nights ago I alluded to the fact that you've got the guys that are the executive, where they came from. You know, Everton went their separate ways, went in a different direction, fell well, get thinned out, and Patrick Stewart again. You know, he's left a basket case of a club, and I think you're better going to getting people for clubs where they're being successful in terms of their infrastructure.
If you're going to go and shop at top clubs that are being successful,
No,
you might not get them, mate. That's the problem.
But you might. But the point I'm making is you don't need to go to the English Premier League to do that.
Aye, all right.
You can go to other markets, you know, and so I don't. It's no easy. That's the thing as well. It's very, very difficult. You're dealing with a gargantuan club. They're freak clubs, you know. A wee country like Scotland shouldn't have clubs the size of the Old Firm, really. And they're freak clubs in this tiny wee league, and you know they're hard to monetize, really. But the expectations of the fans, nobody cares. They just want to demand success. So you've got to have something about you to walk in and take the job on, and
you don't make any job harder than it needs to be, mate.
No, you don't. You make it as easy as possible. You keep it simple, stupid, in every walk of life. That saying ultimately always comes to bear. Keep it simple, stupid, so people know what they're doing when they're meant to be doing it and how to do it. As simple as that. And then you go for there. I mean, it's
wait a minute. I'll come back to you, mate. I'll come back to you. I will see you're feeling a wee bit better tonight, yeah?
It's Friday.
On the sick all week. What's wrong with this country? What's wrong with this country? Okay, on the sick all week. He's all right on a Friday.
Oh, wouldn't it be me?
Aye.
Oh, he takes months off.
Welcome back, Smurf.
Cheers.
Aye. Southside, you're on mute, mate.
Take him back. Hear me now.
He's back. You with us, Southside? Yes.
Aye, mate, aye.
Good man.
Sorted it.
Talking about good men. John Boer Billy.
Thanks very much, Ops. That's awfully kind of you.
I'm always kind, mate. It's a persona I put on.
Aye. I'm going to take the blue goggles off and the no surrender heat, right? I'm going to ask you three quick. Right. I want to ask you three questions. Question number one. How long do you think the owners will give him?
Right, I'll take that round first,
right.
Billy. That's a good one. Right. How long do we think, or how long should he get? You hear me, Billy?
Right. Continue that. That's the question, Ox. How long do you think the owners will give him?
Oh, right, okay. That's a tough one. I'll go to somebody who thinks like a billionaire. Southside?
After the Falkirk game.
When's that? A week on Sunday?
I get Livingston European game and then Falkirk.
All right, okay. What's your rationale for that then?
What's the rationale?
Aye.
Well, if we beat Livingston on Sunday, he's going to get to the next European game, isn't he?
Right, okay. All right. I see. All right. AK?
I would have had him out last night, to be honest with you.
But that wasn't the question, mate. Come on, Billy's question. You want to be one of Billy's heroes?
How long do you get? How long do you give him?
How long does it... Listen to Billy's question. That's how you always struggle at quizzes. Listen to the question. Yes. How long do you think the American owners will give him? That was Billy's question. If it's
Right.
too hard for you, just say pass.
I think the American owners will give him until the weekend, and there'll be a new manager in charge for Sturm Graz.
Wow, there's a big one. Smurf?
So my rationale is this: they're cool customers, they're extremely wealthy, and I believe he'll get to the next international break, and it'll be ta-ta.
Same, your own question to yourself, Billy. I know you like to talk to yourself. What's your thoughts on that question?
He would be hunted after Sunday.
But that's Billy. What do you think the American owners will do?
Well, that like takes me on to my next couple of questions, mate.
No. Billy, answer your own question. Don't be an AK. When do you think the American owners are going to do?
After Sunday.
All right, okay. Now, question number 2. Don't make it too hard. Have you seen the panel tonight? Carry on.
Right. Now, you've got to take the goggles off, as I said. Blue goggles off, no surrender heat off, right?
Right.
Can you see us taking maximum points in the next 3 games under Martin and his tactics?
League games on Europe.
Next 3 games.
All right.
Falkirk, Sturm Graz. Sorry, Livingston, Sturm Graz, and Falkirk.
AK? Yes or no?
No.
Smurf?
I can't see him taking any points for any game, any time ever.
Southside?
I can't take the goggles off, Billy.
I knew you would say that, mate. I knew you would say that. Come on, buddy. We need to be smarter than that, pal.
You know, listening to Jim earlier, never down the Rangers, Billy.
I'm no doubting the Rangers, mate.
Well, I'll be honest, I think we can beat Livingston on Sunday, mate. Tactics or no, I still think we could beat Livingston on Sunday. No, but going there the next 3, and if he doesn't win the next 3 games, Billy, then no. I say he'll get to Falkirk, mate. That's my honest opinion. I think they'll give him a Falkirk game, and I think if they're pulling the trigger, it'll be then after that, because we've got the international break.
I think he'd be doing well in normal circumstances to get a victory in Sturm Graz, mate. Yeah. So if in reality, Billy, if he won the 2 domestic games away for him and got a draw in Sturm Graz in normal circumstances, I think he would accept that. But I can't see him taking maximum points, Billy, and I think you're the same. Question number 3, William.
Right. And if he doesn't take maximum points and they don't, i.e. the American owners don't get rid of him, and it continues, where do we go from there?
If you get two wins and a draw, Billy, would that not be acceptable for him? The 2 domestic and get a draw?
That's not the question I asked, Ox. The question I asked was, and if he doesn't take maximum points, and they don't get rid of him, and it continues, where do we go from there?
Right. If he was to beat Livingston 4-0, drew 1 each year there, and beat Falkirk 2-0, that's no maximum points. It would be acceptable for him, but on the back of where we are this now, I don't know. AK?
Oh, I don't know, Billy. I really don't know
You
that.
just hold your wish for a minute, and I'll come back to you with Bill's number 3.
Cool.
We'll be joined by our good friend all the way from Canada, we Al. How we doing, we Al?
Hi, Oxygen. How you doing tonight?
All the better for hearing you, mate. All the better for hearing you. No, Rangers wise, mate, not a good place. How are you?
No, I feel the exact same. I just want to say hi, AK, Southside, and who else is in? Billy, Jim, maybe, I think he said?
Billy and Smurf.
Smurf, yeah. How you guys doing?
How's it going, pal?
Good, pal.
Doing good. Yeah, just like you're saying, Oxygen, we're in a complete and utter mess. I can't believe what's happening. And I just don't know where we go from here. And, like statistics prove, if you lose a game, you've got a high chance of losing the next game. It's really hard to turn that around. I can't see us doing much, and I can't even see us climbing the table. I called, I think, after the Dundee game, and I said it's clear to me that the ownership had made a wrong decision by hiring a manager. And I didn't want to go personal with Russell Martin, but it's clear that we all see it. You're all talking about it. They just made the wrong decision, but they're slow to act. They don't want to accept the wrong decision, because if they accept that, then obviously Patrick Stewart, he sold us Russell Martin, said he was the best guy, talented guy. Fellow came out and supported him, and it's an absolute nightmare. And I just don't know where we're going. But I can't even see us climbing the table, and I can't even see us beating Livingston on the weekend, which is sad to say, to be honest.
Southside.
I think Andrew Kavanagh, I think he's an intelligent man. I think Thelwell and possibly Patrick Stewart to a point might double down on the manager for a wee while. But when it gets looking stupid, and the whole support, as we were talking about earlier, know that it's just a matter of time. So it's when they act, and I think Andrew Kavanagh, when he wants to keep any more credibility, I think he will pull the trigger when he sees fit. And if somebody else is there, they can come in and take the team on. So, because otherwise we are going to question him and all as well. But that's when I think it'll happen. I think he's the man. He's the guy that's got the control and stake. He's put them in there. Well, listen, people make mistakes. If it turns around that they've made the mistake and it's Russell Martin and whoever stands up and puts their horn up, whether it starts with Kavanagh and ends up with Thelwell and Patrick Stewart or Gregor Steinson, whoever it was away interviewing managers and all, and whoever else had an input in it, if they stand up and say, right, we made a mistake, we're sorry, we thought we had the right guy, out the candidates, blah, 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 then you can make a mistake. Doesn't mean to say you need to go out the door. We're trying to put a structure in place at the club. Now, Thingmies gets bad press. Patrick Stewart, right? He's come out and said a few things in his statements, went and chastised us as a support and all. But he might be doing a good job in the background of what he's actually doing at the club. We don't know. So I don't think he'll be going anywhere. Thelwell is another one. He's come in and he probably has to own it, because he came out and backed him as well, and I think he's probably had a good input in bringing him. So if that's been the case, then you don't need to fire him. Just own up to you've made a mistake, and hopefully when the next guy comes in, we get it right. That's it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Seth. I took the words right out of my mouth, and exactly how I'm thinking. But if you watch the team last night, there's no confidence. They're not gelling. They're certainly unhappy. But it's so surprising, because every player he brought in said, "Oh, I'm here because of Russell Martin. I like the way he plays." So now you think to yourself, are they just saying that for the cameras? And if you watch people like Theo, apart from the left back, he was pretty confident in the cameras, but all the rest of them are pretty sheepish and shy on camera. I think it's just the club size, it's just the demands, and they're just failing, because I just don't think they have the right character or personality. But it comes from the manager too. He has to bring them together and show them a direction. But like you say, I can't even watch the games too much anymore, because I'm normally working anyway. So what I normally do is I normally say, okay, well, I bet you the money I'll wait half time. I'll go on Google, check the results or whatever. I can guarantee it's going to be 0-0 half time, and we've probably had one shot on goal. It's been like that all season. I just don't know how much longer I can take it. You know, it's going to be the same on the weekend. It's going to go 0-0. There's going to be howling shots on goal, and then Livingston will go up, score ahead. It'll be 1-0, and then we'll play our skins for the last 10 minutes, and then think we should have won the game. But it's just, and they keep coming out and saying the exact same things week after week after week. But there has to be a decision made soon, because even when you hear somebody like Ali McCoy saying, I don't know how long this manager can hang around, then you know there's a problem, you know? What do you think?
Well, is it the excitement is causing your blood pressure to be too much?
No excitement.
No, I didn't think it was. Well, I think you've summed up everybody's saying. I don't. It's strong to argue with what Al's saying, AKA.
No, definitely. We Al's he's quite articulate in the way he comes across, and he obviously thinks about the structure within the club. He sees it from afar, but it doesn't make him any less a supporter because he's the other side of the pond. Out there, but our eyes don't lie, as I've said many times before. You know, but you've got to have relationships within the club as well, and you've got to have a trust factor there. You only go back a couple of years there, Ox, when Dave King handed the baton out to Park, and he trusted Robertson, who trusted Ross Wilson, you know, and down to Gio, but the relationship broke down between Gio and Ross Wilson and what they were doing with players recruitment, and it's carried on with Michael Beale. That was a disaster, and then it's carried on to you know, Clement after that, who didn't have the support of a structure. Now the owners of they trust, or they did trust Patrick Stewart to get the recruitment of Kevin Thelwell, put his own men in position. They done the interview process, and that's how we've got Russell Martin. And they've sold them a kind of duck egg. This is how we're going to play. It's an exciting brand of football. We're going to run harder. We're going to do this. As Billy said before in previous calls, a lot of nonsense we've been sold, and then he's still coming out and defending his tactics. He's oblivious to what's happening round about him. But results dictate the future of the manager, as I've said before. Second bottom of the league, we've no won a league game. Is it 4 wins out of 14? We've only scored 3. All the stats are horrendous. His time's up. He needs to go.
I think it's nice that we Al and Big Al are on the show, Southside, don't you?
Aye. It's like everybody's just frustrated. And that's what's right. And some people have been wanting a bit longer than others, and some people are hoping that things might change round. But listen, we're not creating chances, we're not showing real patterns of play, we're not dictating, we're not running harder and faster. And some players, in maybe their eyes, know it's like the support, no, it's just a matter of time. And players sometimes might not run as hard, or maybe not be as quick on the ball and things like that. But that just irritates me. We should, no matter what, want to go and win that game, and they should be out running as hard, as fast as they can, to make sure we can get the result, whether they like the manager or not. Because I'm sick of players down in tools over the years on different managers. And even Barry came out and said that I talked to him, they put him on the right line to go out and do whatever. So he couldn't even control it at times. So that for me is just a no-no. But it's just a matter of time, and that's just what's frustrating everybody, to be honest.
Well, let me go back to Bamba Gascoigne. He's got a third question. Bamba?
Right, I'll say it again. And if he doesn't take maximum points and they don't get rid of him, and it continues to go the way it's going to go, where do we go from there? That's a scary thought.
Aye, mate. By the way, it's a scary thought for the club in a whole. If it keeps going financially the way it's went downhill in the last few weeks. Southside?
Well, there's nothing we can really do, Billy, apart from people just don't go and people protest. You know? Nothing we can do. That's what will happen, and obviously people are doing it just now. We're choosing. Listen, the European games were overpriced and all. No, I think we're the dearest in Britain. And we're saying the Rangers have always got a bit overpriced in sort of the European packages for us. I think they should show a bit of loyalty support. But They've come in and they've priced it by whereabouts you sit in Ibrox. In different parts of the stadium, they priced it higher than others. So that, I just think was wrong. But Billy, we'll be where we'll be. We'll just have to soldier on, and when they'll have to pull the plug, we'll pull the plug. That's that, and then we can judge how long it took. But I think we all know it's only going to end one way. So it's down to them, mate. But there's nothing we can do legally about it, and we can't force change it. It's not going to happen. So by protesting, people will vote with their feet and no go.
Sorry, Ox.
Pretty much. We're on the road to nowhere now, Billy. That's all. I'm not going to embarrass myself like Josh and give you a song tonight, Ox, but we're on the road to nowhere as it is.
Oh,
Things need to change.
You've sung live on here before, eh?
Aye, but I've not ended up in sites that I didn't want to be on, though.
Again.
No, they need to make a decision for it. I mean, they've put in a fair amount of money, to get the 51% of the club. They don't want it to be unsuccessful, but they're in charge of it. Southside's right. They've put that money in to call the shots. Supporters can stay away. They can hurt the club. They love to try and force their hand, but it's up to them, regrettably. But that's where we are now as a club. But I think they're prudent businessmen. You wouldn't like to think they're so obtuse where they don't want to admit that they've made mistakes, but it's up to them, mate.
I think there's got to be a change of direction, Billy. I think that when people are talking and the rationale and the trouble that I think the American owners have got is they'll maybe have to get a new circle of trust, because that might be broken, mate. The confidence might not be there. Some of the people they've leaned to keep them right, and for that to happen so quickly is a shock to me. Didn't you maybe think that Russell Manager would have been the ideal candidate and was willing to give him a chance? But they've listened to whoever they've listened to. Can they listen again, Billy? That's a big question for me.
Mm-hmm.
Can I come in there, Ox?
Yes, Murph, of course you can.
So, the other night I come on and I said that Mr. Kavanagh's had been sold a pup and had a pair of knickers pulled out of his eyes. And I think that's the case when there's a couple of things at play. This guy was an insurance guy, and before that he was in banking. I was reading into him, and he's used to playing markets, and there's fluctuations in markets, so you get time to let it ride out. He's no a knee-jerk reaction guy, and you've got two people there in Thelwell and Stewart who have said they've interviewed the guy 7 times. It's the most rigorous process they've ever known and all this nonsense. So sacking Russell Martin is bigger than just changing a new coach. If they don't act, they've no credibility. And if they do act, they've no credibility. So to what you were just alluding to there, Ox, I think you're bang on without directly saying it. It's no a case of parting ways with Russell Martin. And it might not all happen at the one time or immediately. It's a parting of ways with the three of them. That's my opinion anyway.
We are.
Yeah, I kind of agree too. I think the longer they leave it going on, the more highlight and they put the spotlight on themselves, even it's going to come back on the owner, and that's something he doesn't want to do. Maybe he's new into the sports field, Pragmarat, he's probably got a little bit more experience. Kavanagh's put most of the money in. He's probably not got as much experience when it comes to organising the sports team, but a smart guy, like a money guy, he knows exactly what he's doing. So I think at the end of the day, we know that we've kind of broke even on the ins and outs this year, but the club's not doing good. And when fans don't show up, that means lack of money, lack of income for the owner. So I really do think he's thinking about it, no matter what Martin says. He's going to be frustrated about it. So I think he's going to have to make a decision soon, because what he's doing is he's relying on people like Farewell and Stewart to tell him this is the right guy, this is the right thing to do, and sooner or later he's going to know, I need to get my own guys in here. So it's probably be, when it does make the decision, it's going to be an overhaul. So maybe that's what he's doing. He's just working on what angle they're going to take, because I don't think it's just as simple as just getting rid of Russell Martin and everything changes. It's more deep, more complicated.
It's going to be a magic wand. That's a great point you make, Alan. I don't think it's going to be a magic wand. It might help everybody, but I don't know if it'll be a magic wand. Billy Boy, magic wand?
Oh, well, I wish we had one. I wish we could pull a rabbit out of a hat. But listen, what they need to remember is Martin's lost more than he's actually won, and he's drawn more than he's actually won. He talks about stats, Sox. They're honking stats for all his so-called possession football, mate, right? And these American owners, they come in to make money in the big European nights at Ibrox. Well, as Super Ali said last night on the telly, your eyes don't lie. And that includes an Ibrox stadium half empty last night. And I'll tell you one thing, guys. If they think that's acceptable at Rangers, then I'm afraid they're playing a very, very dangerous game.
Yes. Talking about dangerous games, AK, or Big Al as you're known tonight, Big Al, is it time for Southside Super 6?
Aye. See what one he'll give us this week. The winning one or the Duff one.
Oh, that'll be interesting, mate. That'll be interesting. It's now time for Southside's Super 6.
Aye, welcome to Southside Super 6 for September the 27th. This weekend we're going for over 2.5 goals. So the first selection is Chelsea and Brighton. Second selection is Stoke and Norwich. The third selection is Barnsley and Port Vale. The fourth selection is Bradford and Blackpool. The fifth selection is Exeter and Huddersfield. And the sixth selection is Chesterfield and Newport County. If you take all six for over 2.5 goals, pays 30 for the win.
See, we're loyal. The only guys got worse form than Russell Martin. Billy?
I'll tell you one thing. Southside's more chance of getting his Super 6 up than Rangers have getting 9 points out of the next 3 games. I'll tell you that now.
Right. This is a week, AK. This is a week.
It depends what one he's got up his sleeve that he's not telling us.
Aye, double wide, didn't he? Double wide.
Aye, go on.
Listen, I apologise for that. Right? That was the one that was meant to go on. So I had it on anyway, as AK saw. But I apologise. You rushed me that night. Just
Hey,
six.
What were you up to that made you rush?
I was going out to a function, as you know.
All right, okay, just wondering. Listen, good luck. I hope it Stoke Zamora, mate. Obviously, they might be looking to put more tax on gambling, mate. So, single-handedly, you could solve the national debt, mate, yeah?
Aye, it's time we get a winner in, so might as well be tomorrow.
Yeah. Right, we out. Great to hear from you as always. Last word for your good self.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. It was nice to call in. I've been listening to you guys, and I know you guys come on and do this show every week, and it's been a painful. God, I don't think we've ever experienced something like this. It's kind of sad too when you stop thinking about other teams in the league, and we're just obviously dealing with our own internal problems at Rangers. Who cares what everybody else is doing? We've got real serious problems. But you know what? I'll always be a Rangers supporter, and nothing that changes. And I know it's going to get better, but it's just terrible time right now. And as I say, the only way we can be up, we'll have to see what happens. Thanks for taking the call, guys.
Cheers, Al. Smurf.
My last thoughts are, when are we going to see the odds on Russell Martin getting the Dan Mack and Southside Super 6? Right, good night, everybody. Take it easy.
Russell Martin getting his sack. 20 100. Southside getting his Super 6 off. Wouldn't have let you guess. Oh dear. Oh, Billy.
Aye, cheers for taking my call, Ox. I'm putting the glue the blue goggles back on, mate. No surrender. Thanks very much for taking my call, pal, and I'll speak to you soon.
Well, he's gone, Billy. You make me better be glue goggles.
Talking about glue, I think Russell Martin snuffing the glue.
Oh dear. AK or Big Al.
Oh, there's only one Big Al doing in Oz.
I forgot about Big Al.
Oh, great.
We miss him, didn't we? We miss a Big
Aye,
Al.
sure do. Hopefully he gets the teams to get in contact with him again. He's always a good caller.
He is Big Al. When I met him, mate, he walked through the door. There was no daylight.
Big shadow. Aye, good. That'd be good to hear from him again. But no, I enjoyed that show tonight. Thanks for the callers coming in. Obviously yourself and Southside, always a pleasure. Hopefully Fox, all the best. Get better soon, pal, and everybody enjoys their weekend. And the Rangers win on Sunday. Come on, the Rangers.
I think Fox is feeling better. I think he's booked a Fox's favourite for tomorrow night, mate. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, good.
All right. Southside.
Could probably say something there, better no. You'll go off his head. I know, enjoyed being on the show tonight with Kane, your good self. I'd like to thank everybody out there on the YouTube channel that followed the show, mate, and thank them for participating tonight in the show. But looking for doing a wee trip down the motorway on Sunday. Sunday. We trip down the motorway. And hopefully we'll get 3 points. We'll make it hard, but we should be winning games like this when we go to these places. So hopefully the players get up for the game and we get the 3 points, mate. Because otherwise, then you'll certainly hear the noise for about that stadium. We've got 3 parts here. So thanks for having us on, mate, as always.
Yeah, mate, I think Sunday could, even if they get a result, could still turn toxic, mate, because of the setup, yeah.
Aye, I think you'll probably get banners and whatnot. I would expect it, and we'll have 3 sides of the stadium. So, but listen, at the end of the day, mate, we all want Rangers to win. So we're looking forward to hopefully getting the 3 points, regardless of who's the manager.
Aye, yeah. Thanks to Jim. Come on, listen, I don't agree with Jim's sentiment. I agree with his views about our club. It's difficult at this time, but I really admire him having the fortitude, his convictions. It takes a brave man Southside, doesn't it? Yeah, but at least he's got his position and he's willing to argue it. Play him. Can I thank Jim? Come on, I thank Billy. We Al, and of course Smurf for joining us. Thank your good self, Southside, the one and only AK, for taking the time to join us here in Rangers Radio. Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals. Great news. All School Blue's daughter is expecting the first grandkid, and we congratulate them and hope everything goes well. Keep you updated. Brilliant news for the All School Blue family. Listen, we Betty, our thoughts go out to you. I hope everything goes well for you. Right, so Rangers Radio will be back an hour before the match on Sunday, building up to a Rangers victory. There's a lot of water going to the bridge between now and Sunday. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your weekend. Come on, the Southside Super 6. And come on, the Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Oh!